Now let's talk about what are the different type of operators that are present in Apex. The first one that we have is the assignment operator. So this operator, which is equal to, is known as the assignment operator. Why? Because it is assigning one value to a particular variable. Let me execute this code quickly. So if you see, value of num is equal to 1. And here also value of num is equal to num, and this num is nothing but 1. Another example of assignment operator can be that we are using the same variable and we are assigning it a different value. So now this value, which is 10, will be assigned to this variable, which is num. And I can display this variable again as well. So let me execute this code. So I can execute from here till here. So now if you see, value of num is equal to 1. So initially the value of num was 1. It was coming right here. Then we assigned it a value 10. And then we printed value of num after assigning 10 is equal to this particular value. So this is now coming as 10. If we talk about the assignment operator, what it does, it assigns whatever is present on the right hand side to the variable which is there on the left hand side. And we represent our assignment operator by equal to sign. Now let's talk about the next operator. So the next operator is addition operator. What are we doing here? We are taking two values and we are adding them together using the addition operator, which is represented by plus. So I can say that this is the addition operator. Now what can I do? In order to execute this code, let me just initialize the number here itself. So I can say integer num, and then num is equal to 5 plus 10, and then we are displaying the value of num. Let's execute this, and if you see, we are getting value of num 5 plus 10 is equal to 15. Value of num 5 plus 10 is equal to the value of num, which is coming as 15. So what it does, it adds the value which is there on the left hand side and on the right hand side of the operator, and then we are using our assignment operator to assign the result to our variable. So here if you see, two operators are working together. The addition operator is doing the addition and the assignment operator is doing the assignment. And now let's talk about the subtraction operator. It is very similar to addition. The only difference is it is doing the subtraction. So here I am saying 10 minus 5 and I am assigning that value to my variable num. So what we can do, we can execute the code from here till here. So if you see, value of num 5 plus 10 is equal to 15. So the earlier value was 15. Then what I did 10 minus 5 and I assigned the result to this particular variable. So this is the left hand side of the subtraction operator. Here we have the subtraction operator, which is represented by minus. And then we have the right hand side of the subtraction operator. And this subtraction operator is applied on these two operands, or I can say these two values. And then we have the result, which is stored right here. So I can say that 10 minus 5 is nothing but 5. I can do the reverse here as well. For example, let's say if I do 5 minus 10, this is also fine, right? So let me just execute the whole code. Now if you see, in this case, the result is coming as minus 5. Why? Because instead of doing 10 minus 5, we are doing 5 minus 10 here. So the result is coming as minus 5, which is negative. Similarly, we have the multiplication operator. So the multiplication operator is responsible to multiply two values. So here what are we doing? We are doing 10 multiplied by 5. Pause the video and let me know the result in the comments down below. Now either I can execute the whole code from here till here, or I can assign, or I can say initialize this variable again. So let me just initialize it once again here so that I can only execute this line. So what I can do, I can execute these lines now, and if you see, here we are getting value of num 10 into 5 is equal to 50. So 10 multiplied by 5, the result is nothing but 50, which is stored in this variable, and then we are displaying this variable right here. Okay, so this is working absolutely fine. Next, we have the division operator. Now, when you want to divide two values, then you can use the division operator. For example, here I am saying 10 divided by 5. So it is similar to saying that I want to divide 10 by 5. So what I'll say 5 into 2 is equal to 10, and the result will be 0 here, right? So the quotient will be nothing but 2. So this division operator will return me the quotient when 10 is divided by 5. Let me execute this whole code. So if you see, now we are getting value of num 10 divided by 5 is equal to 2. So value of num 10 divided by 5 is equal to the value of num. The value of num is nothing but 2, because if you divide 10 by 5, you will get the quotient as 2. So these operators, that is the addition operator, subtraction operator, multiplication operator, and division operator, these are nothing but arithmetic operators, because they are doing some arithmetic operation. And these operators can work on different data types. For example, right now it is working on integers, right? So if you see, this is also an integer, this is also an integer. But these operators can work on decimal as well. For example, let's say if I do 10 divided by 3. So what should be the result? For example, let's say I'm doing decimal num, okay? And I'm saying 10 divided by 3. Pause the video and let me know the result in the comments down below. So if I execute this code, so if you see, we are getting the result as 10 divided by 3, which is coming as 3. Don't worry about this 10 by 5 because it is coming from here. But in reality, we are doing 10 divided by 3, right? So it is coming as 3. Though if you see, in case of decimal, it should not be 3. But these two are integers, right? Which is why the result is also an integer. Though it is stored in a decimal variable, but the result is still an integer. In order to have decimal here, we can say 10.0 divided by 3.0. Now the result will also be decimal. So I executed the code again, and if you see, this time the result is coming as 3.33333, and a lot of 3's are there at the end, right? So this time I can say that the result is coming as decimal. The main intent of showing this is that operators can work on different types of data. They can work on integer as well, and they can work on decimal as well. So that's all for now. In the next tutorial, we are going to learn about some more interesting operators in Apex. Let me know your feedback in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time.